We are live, guys. Let me see how this is working out. I gotta ensure that everything on my side is working over here. Let me see if we are live on the channel. I'm not seeing anything coming through on Restream yet, so that's interesting. But let me figure this whole thing out. And guys, bear with me. I am on a completely different software solution, so this is going to be very interesting how this whole thing turns out today. Let me do this real quick. All right, let's go. Let's jump over to YouTube. All right. All right. Let's see if this is working. Why isn't Restream working? Restream is not working, guys. I don't know what's going on here. I got a new system, guys, and all right, so we are live. We're live. We're live on YouTube. We are live on YouTube, but it's not going through Restream. I am not sure what's going on, guys. Hopefully, we can get this whole thing figured out. But we are live on YouTube, and thank you so much for joining. I got a completely new system here, and before I even get started, hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me go and check in my little chats over here, see if we're getting any messages coming in. Okay, the Life of Cam said he is here. He can hear me. Good to see you, the Life of Cam. Can you hear me, my man? If you can hear me, let me know. Let me know if you can hear me. If you guys can hear me, leave me a one in the chat. That would be fantastic if you can actually hear me. Good to see you guys again. It's been a long time since I got a chance to speak with you guys. I am in a completely new setup, as you guys can see. I'm in my mother's basement right now, guys, in Wisconsin. I'm like some of you folks who don't got no job, man, in a basement. But the good thing is I'm in a nice shirt. I'm not in my drawers, you know what I mean? I'm not in my drawers. I'm actually in a nice pair of sweatpants and everything. So I feel good. Good to see you all. I am excited to be here with you guys. We're gonna have a good show. You guys can hear. You guys can hear. Yo, miss talking to you. Good to see you, my man. Good to see you. The Life of Cam is in the house. My man Black Mind is in the house. Good to see NC Realtors in the house. Good to see you, darling. Who else is in the house? We got Zach Butler in the house. He says, I know you haven't started yet, but do you believe an MIS degree is still worth getting in 2025? Absolutely, man. Absolutely. If you go and watch my videos, Zach, you know that an MIS degree is still worth getting in 2025, man. Absolutely. It's one of the best degrees to get out there. That, supply chain, cybersecurity, um, any sort of AI, software engineering, I would say is still a good degree to go as long as it has some specialties in it. Fantastic. Finance, for sure. So MIS is absolutely fantastic for you to go and get in 2025, my man. Um, Let me give you guys the rundown. Let me give you guys a rundown on what's been going on with me since I've been missing you guys for a full week, and I'm in a new setup. As I mentioned, we are in Wisconsin for the rest of the summer. We leave Texas and we spend time in Wisconsin. And right now we are in Sun Prairie. I left last Monday and we did about a 4-day road trip to get here, spending some time in Oklahoma City, spending some time in St. Louis to check on the rental properties and to make sure that the renovations that I had going on is in progress and they are pretty close to being done. I was excited about that. Got a chance to show my kiddos two of the rental properties and how they're coming along. So they're very, very ecstatic about that. And then we came to Wisconsin. Today is what? Today is Monday. We got here on Friday, I believe. Yes, we got here on Friday. So we spent the weekend just spending some time with my family. My mom lives in Sun Prairie. My mother-in-law lives in Brookfield, so it's about an hour apart from each other. And we just been chilling, man, just chilling. While you guys are waiting in the chat and waiting for the show to start, make sure you hit the like button. Also, I want you guys to let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Some of you guys are tuning in from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Some of you are tuning in from Florida. I want to know where you guys are tuning in from. But the real question is has any of you guys seen or heard of any layoffs at your job, at your company? Or have you been asked to learn about AI tools recently? Drop it in the chat. I want to hear from you guys before we get started. Um, I got a new MacBook Pro. I got a new MacBook Pro. I never decided that I was going to go with Apple, but I decided to go with Apple. I got a new mouse. I got some new lights. I got a new setup that I carry on the road with me, and it's all new. I am using a new program. It's called Ecamm Live, and it's all new. I'm a Windows guy. I am a Windows guy, but Mac is something that drew me in because I needed a powerful laptop, and I got a MacBook Pro Max, 16-inch, and I really am loving the thing. I see why people love Mac. It is built solid. It is rock solid. I'm starting to understand a little bit more about the applications that I can use. It has the power that's going to be able to last me for the next 5 years. My last MSI laptop I bought it in 2018 and I just retired it. It was still going. It just had some screen breaks, and some of the joints were starting to click, and it just wasn't good. So I decided I wanted to upgrade myself to a MacBook Pro Max, 16-inch with 128 gigs, 2 terabytes. Damn thing cost me $5,600. But that's a $5,600 over 5 years. That's not actually not that bad. It's $1,000 a year for a machine that I'm going to be using for the next 5 to 6 years. So, guys, it is Monday the 24th. This is season 2, episode 24. And I appreciate you guys all for pulling up in today's stream. Most importantly, um, we are rocking and rolling this year. I missed you guys last week. I was going to go live on Wednesday, but I started having some MacBook problems. I was going to go live on Thursday, but we had some other commitments, and it's just been chaos. So I'm going to make up last week's show sometime this week. I'm going to go live twice this week, so you guys are going to get a chance to see my face twice this week. That's how we're just going to do it, guys. That's how we're going to do it. I had a couple coaching calls over the last week as well. And I talked to an individual who was a dock supervisor who was looking to get into cybersecurity. We had some recent discussions on the things that he was doing, and he basically said that, Antoine, I want to make more money. I want to make more money. I'm making about $64,000 right now, but I got an MBA, I got an undergrad, and I want to be making more money. And I got a daughter, and I'm living in the house with my mom right now and my parents. And he was wondering what he could do to start making a little bit more money. The guy has the education. Again, he's working at a good company. He has a good background. So we gave him the game. We showed him what he needed to do. Now he needs to go out there and execute. So if you guys are needing some help with figuring out what you want to do next to start making a little bit more money, there's a lot of change that's going on within the job market at this point in time. And a lot of people need some advice. A lot of people need some tips. A lot of people need some encouragement. They need some mentorship. They need some coaching. Well, I'm the person to come to. Go and check out the website, www.blkheights.com, and you can book a coaching call directly with me or with Mr. Ken Barney. And also, I talked to an individual who just graduated with an MIS degree. And he's like, Antoine, I just graduated in May and I don't have a job yet. And I said, okay, well, did you do any internships? Nope, didn't do any internships. God darn it, guys. I'm going to tell you like this. If you're in college right now and you haven't done any internships, that's not good. You need the years of experience. However, I told this individual what he needed to do in order for him to get this first year of experience and that he needs to apply for entry level roles. So I gave him the game, showed him what he needed to do, where he needed to go and search for jobs at. And I got him right as well too. And guess what, guys? I spent about 30 to 45 minutes with these individuals. The cost is nominal. It's very inexpensive. $99. Check us out, www.blkheights.com. In today's show, we're going to be talking about a couple things. Mass layoffs. They are continuing to explode. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to be talking about is AI coming for your jobs. That's what we're going to be talking about, guys. That's going to be a big show, big topics for tonight. AI is coming for your jobs faster than anyone thought. And what you need to know and what you need to start doing right now to stay ahead of the game, guys. So that's going to be the topics of today's show. be engaged, be active. I am so glad that you guys are with me. I still don't know how to get um my my restream going, because typically I can broadcast this to YouTube, I can broadcast this to Twitter, I can broadcast this to Elevate to the Unknown, where I'm at right now, but I can also broadcast this to other places as well too. So I don't know what's going on right now, but I'm going to check it out in a quick second and figure out if I can get this going on Restream as well too. This is all new software to me, so it's figuring out is something that I need to do, but I haven't figured all this out yet. So let's see if I can do it in a moment, or if I can do it. Ooh, there we go. Let's see if I can do it that way. There we go. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me see if I can do it that way. We got the Restream open. It is open on a completely different window. See if we can put it over here. Okay, get that out of here. All right. Do we got this over here? Nope. All right. Maybe that's just not the way how it goes on you on either way. We're live, and I can also update this to our Facebook as well too. If I can get it figured out, I'll get it figured out. But if I can't, it is what it is. It's just going to be on YouTube today. So you folks who typically are looking for this show, come on over to our YouTube, man. Come over to our YouTube. Brother Damien's in the house. Good to see you. Zach Butler. If you want to speed up your success timeline, book a coaching session with Mr. Wade. I did it and doubled my salary over the past year. Yes, you have. Yes, you actually have, Life of Cam. And I can't wait for us to get back to Texas so that you can spend some time with us down in San Antonio, my man. Zach Butler, Life of Cam, awesome. Very excited for the future. Got some big things ahead. Boss Life 294 is in the house. AI is taking over. Over there will be a small amount of white collar jobs. We're going to talk about that today. We're going to be talking about that today, my man. Um, who else is in the house? Let's see. Brother Damien's in the house. It says coming to us from Austin. Yeah, Zach Butler's coming to us from Pittsburgh. Oh, y'all. I'm just glad y'all in the house today, man. Fantastic, fantastic. Let us get started. Let us get started on the first topic of today, which is going to be AI. So let me keep it real with you guys, man. AI isn't some future threat at all. It is now. It's here. It's right now, and it's taking jobs every single day. You're talking about customer service jobs. You're talking about HR jobs. You're talking about content writing jobs. Even engineering jobs are disappearing overnight. And companies are keeping quiet about it. That's just what it is. They're just keeping quiet about it. Let me give you guys some game on what's really happening in the AI space, okay? I'm going to share it with you guys real quick, and we're going to jump in and talk about it. And I want you guys to chat it up. Give me your thoughts on all this that's going on. This is going to be the majority of the topics of today's show. We're going to be talking about this and some layouts that you guys need to know about. But here it is.
Glad you're
This is
this.
AI.
If you have any questions or need assistance, feel free to let
So
me know.
wait, what's your name?
AI is going to replace 92 million jobs.
AI will replace healthcare workers within 3 years.
Elon Musk says in 5 years, AI robotic surgery will be taking over my job.
The amount of change we're going to see over the next 5 years, 10 years, will dwarf everything that's happened over the last 30.
What jobs are the very first ones AI is going to do?
Glad you're
This is
You guys heard it. You guys heard it. Customer service jobs, HR jobs, content writing jobs, even engineering jobs, even doctors' jobs are going to be disappearing. And it's going to be happening overnight, guys. And companies right now are keeping it quiet. But we need to talk about it. We need to talk about it. Let's talk about some of the real world examples that's going on right now. Microsoft, they're laying off 6,000, right? You got Intel that just talked about they're laying off 10,000 the other day. We're going to get into a little bit more of that story in the next segment. But real jobs are being eliminated because of AI. And this isn't some future threat. This is what is going on now. If you guys are concerned about AI, this is the segment that you need to be watching right now. If you guys are concerned about AI, this is the conversations that we need to be having right now. Because if you're not using it right now, you're going to be left behind. Let us continue. Let's just let this lady share what she has going on and what AI is doing today that many of you are doing in your jobs right now. Check this out.
AI.
If you have any questions or need assistance, feel free to let
So
me
wait, what's your name?
know. My name is Nicole.
How do you
I'm here to
spell
help with
that?
any
Is that with an
questions you
H?
have about-
She's trying to.
Is Nicole spelled with an H? Oh, I'm confusing it. This is my favorite thing.
No worries at all. Well, that's what I'm here for, to chat and help out. If you have any questions or anything
Well,
else you wanna
Nicole,
know,
can
just
I
let me know.
ask you a personal question, Nicole?
Of course. Feel free to ask whatever you'd like.
When's your birthday?
I don't have a birthday like a real person would.
She's not a real person. She just admitted that she doesn't have a birthday like a real person would. But I thought you said you were a real person, Nicole.
I apologize for the confusion earlier.
Check this out, guys. So you know all of the spam callers that you're getting. You know all of the companies that are calling you right now trying to collect money from you because you haven't paid your rent on time, you haven't paid your utilities on time, you haven't paid your taxes on time. You know all the companies that's calling you to look at you for potential job opportunities. These are being replaced by AI at this point in time, guys. This automatic call what is done by AI. And basically, what it's doing at this point in time is it is dialing tons of people, tons of numbers. That's why we're getting so many spam calls. And as soon as you pick up, it acts like it's a human being and it responds to you like it's a human being. And it sounds like it's a human being. And if you don't know any better, you will be talking to AI. And it's not a human being. That's how sophisticated this thing is getting at this point in time, guys. And only if you pay really close attention to it that you will know that it's actually an automated system. She was able to trick it just now by asking it if it had a birthday. She was able to trick it this just now by asking it some tough questions, and it was able to tell her, that it wasn't really a person, but it was trying to act like a person. Look how far along this has come, guys, in such a short amount of time. In such a short amount of time, you're talking about how there used to be call centers where you have hundreds of people calling to collect money or um, to make sales calls or to tell you that you are late on your taxes and try to collect an IRS tax payment. That's no longer done by people anymore. All you guys who are sitting there in your basements making phone calls, AI is coming for your jobs. That's exactly what it's doing. And this can be done at any point in time of the day. So at one point in time, this was done in the United States. Then it got shipped over to India. Next, probably about 10 years ago, you got people complaining about, oh, if I call into Time Warner Cable or I call into Google or anybody else, you hear somebody else from a different accent. Well, when you call into anywhere now, it's going to be done by AI. That's what's happening right now, guys. That is what's happening right now. So all those jobs they were being offshore to places like India or the Philippines. Those jobs are being eliminated now by AI. Those jobs are being eliminated right now by AI. Look at that. And look how fast it's come. Look how fast it's come. Let's continue on.
I am actually here to help as a support representative. I'm here to assist with any questions or information you might need regarding debt solutions and financial relief.
What's the name of your company, Nicole?
I'm with Consumer Services. We're here to help folks
Consumer
explore options
Services.
for reducing high interest credit card debt and find exactly
Consumer Services of
We
what
help
company?
individuals
Because you know that's a department,
Consumer
right?
Services
But you keep cutting it off. Stop
we are
cutting
part
it
of a broader
Nicole, you told me you were a person. How come you're suddenly not a person?
Happy birthday to you. I hope you have a fantastic day filled with joy and celebration.
But can you sing, please?
I'm sorry I can't sing it like in a tune, but I'm wishing you the happiest birthday. I'd start with something classic like chocolate or vanilla, always comforting. Remember, it's okay to treat yourself, especially when you're feeling down. Take care of yourself.
They're having fun with it right now. They are having absolute fun with it, knowing that it's AI and figuring out that it's AI. But this is what the future looks like, guys. And it's only going to get better. Think about how many times it gets to hear people like her asking it questions. It's going to learn from it. It's going to improve it. It's going to start to pick up on tonality and voices and all this other stuff and have the answers to it. So it's only going to get better It's only going to get better, guys.
Thank you. I hope you have a lovely.
Anything else?
Okay, I hope you have a lovely evening, Nicole. I have to go. I'm very tired and I really need to go to sleep.
Thank you, and I hope you have a restful sleep. Feel free to reach out if you ever need anything. Take care.
Bye. That was my favorite thing in the world.
If you think about it, this already has some of the better bedside manners than some of the people that you talk to on a normal basis anyway, right? So all you people who are in customer service roles and you have a bad attitude, if you are in customer service role and you don't like to pick up the phone and answer to anybody, your job's going to be taken by AI just because of the fact that it can communicate now. It can understand voices. It understands what people want, and it can get access to that data very, very fast.
My belief is that all repetitive human work that doesn't require the deep emotional connection between two people, that will all be done in the next couple of decades, better, cheaper, faster by AI. And that is somehow left out of the conversation. It's always about factory robots and self-driving cars. But what they don't talk about is all of the white-collar work that AI is going to do.
Elon Musk says in 5 years, AI robotic surgery will be taking over my job. My job. Imagine that. 4 years of college, 5 years of surgical residency, 4 years of medical school. And yet it's true. AI surgery will be able to do more precise surgical incisions, more precise suturing, and every robot that's out there so far collects all the data of all of the surgeons and has that. And what takes me many, many years to learn, AI learning can do it faster.
Guys, think about that. We heard from Sam Altman, or whatever his name is, the guy from OpenAI, right? He just spoke right before this doctor came on and spoke just now. 70% of all white collar work will be eliminated. I have to think about this, right? The jobs that are going to preserve are going to be the jobs that are blue collar. That's number one. First thing that comes to mind. The jobs that are going to continue to thrive are going to be the jobs that allow people to, or where the skills needed, where you need to be able to communicate. You need to be able to have an emotional connection with people. You need to be able to build the level of trust, and you need to be able to be face to face. Those are going to be the jobs that are going to stick around. So what are those types of jobs? Those types of jobs are nurses. Those types of jobs are plumbers. Those types of jobs are electricians. Those types of jobs are salespeople. So I already have told you guys that you should be in sales. I've already told you guys that you should be in some sort of customer success. I already told you guys that you should be in some sort of professional services implementing software where you are customer facing, because the closest you are to the customer, the closest you are to the revenue, those are the types of jobs where AI cannot touch. It cannot touch it. But as Sam Altman said, at one point in time, they were talking about how AI was going to be replacing the robotics and the robotic cars. No, the majority of what AI is replacing at this point in time is white collar work. White collar work, but the type of work where you're doing data entry, the type of work where you're doing logical work. Step A, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, step 6, step 7, step 8, step 9, step 10. That's the type of work that is going to replace. And you're going to have workforces that are going to be very, very small. You're going to have people like Kamal, who's very, very smart and intelligent. You're going to have people like Brother Damien, who's very, very smart and intelligent, who are going to be able to do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people's jobs, run their own companies, and make a whole bunch of money because they have access to tools like AI. That's what the new reality is. And let's talk about what this gentleman just said about him being a doctor, right? He spent hundreds of thousands of dollars going to medical school. Dr. Terry Simpson. Hundreds of thousands of dollars going to medical school, countless hours studying. Well, AI at this point in time, is going to be able to do surgery a lot better than him. It's going to be able to learn from a lot of the use cases because Dr. Terry Simpson is probably going to get to maybe, let's say, maybe 1,000 surgeries over his lifetime as a doctor. Well, with AI, it's going to be able to see millions of surgeries that can happen and get the data from millions of surgeries. It's going to get different blood types, different skin colors, all of that sort of stuff. So it's going to be a lot more intelligent. So the question is there going to be a need to go to medical school anymore? Is there going to be a need for people to go and get a PhD anymore? Because the information is going to be out there. Is there going to be a need for people to go and get a doctor's degree anymore? Or maybe that's going to be the case. Maybe they just don't have to spend as much time getting a doctor's degree, right? Because they're not going to be doing the surgeries. They're going to be overseeing the surgery. While the tool itself, the computer or the robot, doing precise cuts, better sutures, patient recovery is going to be faster. All that because of AI. And that you have to ask yourselves, is this a good thing? I almost think that it is a good thing in some aspects of it, right? Because we know, especially if you have had someone who's been in the US and had to be a part of our medical care system. I had a father-in-law that was, he passed away about 2 years ago, but he was sick for about 6 years. Couldn't really figure out what was going on with him. I had a friend who was at my mother-in-law's house the other day was talking about how the healthcare system for her was pretty bad. And she had an aneurysm. It was insane how the back and forth of all the information that she had to go through. And we think about it from the healthcare, what is it? It's a whole bunch of data entry. It's a whole bunch of people passing documents along. AI can replace all of that. I work into a company right now that can literally take files and data from anywhere and use generative AI to transform it and to push it in any sort of system, anywhere you want it to go, to eliminate there being people touching any sort of keyboard. That's what we are working with right now, guys. I want to know your opinions on this. And MJ Cannabis just said it. Early cancer detection is getting better with the help of AI. People are going to live a lot longer. Early cancer detection. I think those are the innovations that's going to come from things like AI. Diseases are going to be able to be cured a lot faster. But also, what's going to be interesting is how is all this going to be governed? HIPAA, all that sort of stuff. How is all that going to be governed? Because you already know the United States, they're going to try to make money out of a lot of this stuff. And at this point in time, things are wide open. You got companies wanting to do what they want to do. But this is going to be interesting. I want to know what you guys think. Put it in the chat. Put it in the comments as well, too. Damien says, per Project Management Institute, a project manager spends 90% of their time communicating. That's right. Well, it's a great field to be in. It's a great field to be in, guys. So consider if you are looking into a career choice of what's not going to be replaced by AI, consider that of project management. And if you need help, go ahead and book a call with Brother Damien. Let's continue on.
That doesn't mean the future of medicine is just about robots. Medicine isn't about machines or just man. It's about both. But in the future, your surgeon may be a robot.
GPT today has an IQ of 155. Einstein is 160. We're matching Einstein with a machine that I will tell you openly, AI experts are saying this is just the very, very, very top of the tip of the iceberg. ChatGPT 4 is 10x smarter than 3.5 in just a matter of months, and without many, many changes. Now, that basically means ChatGPT 5 could be within a few months. If they continue at that pace, if it's 10x, then an IQ of 1600. Just imagine the difference between the IQ of the dumbest person on the planet in the 70s and the IQ of Einstein. When Einstein attempts to explain relativity, the typical response is, I have no idea what you're talking about, right? If something is 10x Einstein, we will have no idea what it's talking about. This is just around the corner. It could be a few months away. ChatGPT.
AI will replace healthcare workers within 3 years. I just got back from a medical AI conference, and one of the keynote speakers said something that really shook me. He said that AI is going to replace most of the healthcare workforce within 3 years. Not assist, not augment, replace. That includes doctors, nurses, physical therapists, respiratory therapists, support staff. The list goes on. Basically, AI will handle diagnostics, documentation, and all patient communication from scheduling to billing to medical records. I don't think healthcare providers will go away entirely, but medicine is going to look a lot different in the coming years. Hopefully it'll be for the better. What do you think?
A major tech CEO is sounding the alarm about the technology he's spearheading. Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei, the head of the company behind AI model Claude 4, has a blunt warning, telling the website Axios half of all entry-level white-collar jobs could be wiped out by artificial intelligence within 5 years, potentially driving the unemployment rate up to 20%. He says industries most at risk include law, marketing, tech, and finance.
Guys, you heard it. You heard it. You had people who are in the medical field who are speaking out about AI in the healthcare field. 3 years away. Okay? You're talking about the intelligence of over 160 IQ. You're talking about how ChatGPT is ChatGPT 4, which we're using right now. If you guys aren't using it, it's 10 times better than ChatGPT 3. In just a matter of months. In just a matter of months. You're talking about the workforce with unemployment rates right now is about 4.2%. Good job market, they're saying, until you go and watch some of the TikTok layoffs videos that we're going to be speaking about shortly. But entry-level roles completely eliminated. All you folks who are going to college right now. It's going to be interesting, right? Because I think about college, and I have 2 kids, a daughter and a son. And one of the things that I'm almost prepared for is to tell them not to go to college. And it's crazy because I come from a family where college is, you got to go to college. I went to college. I have a master's degree. I have an MBA. And nobody in my house would tell you, especially growing up, you shouldn't go to college. But I'm almost at that point where I'm thinking about my kids. I got an 8 and a 9-year-old. I'm an 8 and a 10-year-old. I don't know if college is going to be relevant to them. I don't know if college is going to be relevant to them when they are getting ready to go to college. So you're talking about another 10 years. What do you guys think about that? What are you guys thinking about that? Do you think college is going to be relevant in 10 years with the advancement of AI? Or you think it's going to be some other types of fields of study? You think fields of study are going to be completely eliminated and shift away? I want to know your opinion about that. Leave it in the comment section of this video. I want to know. Let's continue on.
New generative AI technologies pose a real risk to early career knowledge jobs.
In recent months, AI has shown stunning capabilities, from generating hyper-realistic fake videos to diagnosing rare diseases through data analysis. The state Supreme Court in Arizona is even using AI-powered avatars to act as reporters and summarize court rulings.
My AI colleague Daniel and I will be bringing you regular updates.
AI's.
Check that out. You even have news reporting. Think about all the jobs that are out there, right? So all the content creating jobs, all the jobs of you generating images, all the marketing, all the legal work, all that stuff is going to be replaced by AI. All of it. So if you are in a content creating space, your days are limited in doing that kind of work. You should be using AI right now. You should be using tools that's going to help you to evolve and start looking at how to make that career shift ahead of time, because it is coming. You hear it. I mean, they're already talking about how entry-level jobs are going to be eliminated. Well, it's already looking at middle management jobs already. They're already talking about doing that with the process of automation, which really is just generative AI along with technology tools and process workflows, right? So you're already talking about entry-level jobs being eliminated. You're talking about middle management jobs being eliminated. And you're talking about the types of jobs that AI won't eliminate, blue-collar work, electricians, plumbers, and you're talking about people who have face-to-face contact with individuals, right? So you're talking about the sales people, the operations people, the implementation people, the project managers. These are the types of people that are going to continue to evolve and continue to get to the money. But customer service, HR, content writing, even engineering jobs, they're disappearing overnight. They're disappearing. It is insane. And it's a bloodbath that's coming, and they're telling you about it right now. So you need to be paying attention.
Rapid rise could bring real benefits, but also real disruption. The people most likely to be hit first, young, college-educated workers in their first jobs, before they've built experience.
Who don't yet have the work experience to be a sort of a manager of a team of AI agents.
Some major companies already downsizing. Walmart cutting 1,500 corporate jobs, part of a technology-led restructuring. Microsoft
AI is going to replace 92 million jobs.
Before we get there, thank you so much for the super chat, guys. Mr. Nix, good to see him, my man. He says AI needs compute, storage, and network maintenance. That's another field. That's another field. I'm telling you right now, AI needs compute, storage, and network maintenance. He's absolutely right. We're going to be talking about that too, Mr. Nix. We're going to be talking about that because that's almost the kind of work that plumbers, electricians do. And you're going to see that AI needs a lot of power. AI needs a lot of power. Who does stuff with power? Power, water, electricity, all that sort of stuff. Those are going to be the jobs that's going to be exploding. Those are going to be the jobs that's going to be exploding. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. The Life of Cam is in the house. He says, I think college will still be relevant, but a lot of degrees will go away, and colleges without a major sports program will have to adopt WGU CBE model. Ooh, good point, Life of Cam. You got to think about it. For the colleges that don't have sports programs, how are they going to be funded? Because you think about it, what's funding a lot of these colleges now, these colleges are and universities are the sports programs, specifically football and basketball. That's what's funding a lot of it. And it's funding in the majority of the sports. So what is college going to be like if it's not about these degrees? Maybe they're just going to be consolidated. I don't know. You're probably going to see a consolidation in the college world where big time universities that have big time sports programs have alternative modes for people to be associated with them because of the brand name. We will have to see what that looks like. But very good call out, Life of Cam. I like it. I like it. Let's go to some of the chats here. Zach Butler says, blue collar work is rough. It's not for everyone. I'm leaving the trade for school, long hours and sacrifices. That's blue collar work. It's true, but I tell you like this. It's the work that's going to keep you employed, and it also gives you an opportunity to own your own business. If you become skilled enough, you will constantly have work. Yes, you will work long hours, but if you get to a point where you're able to open up your own business and have others work for you, create apprenticeships, and so forth, you will be in a good situation. MJ Canvas says, Rosen Data Science and Machine Learning still pays $260K and $300K. 90% of companies do not understand how AI works. 90% of companies do not understand how AI works. 90% of people don't even understand how AI works. 95% of people don't know how AI works. That's why I'm telling you guys ahead of time to get ahead of it. That's why we're talking about this on this channel. Because once it becomes the masses, everybody already knows. Right? So continue. Let's continue on.
It's like, don't worry about it, just develop new skills. But there's a huge problem. So the big report that came out about this was basically there are 3 new skills that you have to master if you want to survive in the new job climate. Carbon intelligence, virtual intelligence, and AI proficiency. Q, what do any of those mean? How do you measure those skills? I'm calling BS on this, guys. I think that there's going to be a huge talent gap and nobody's going to know how to fill it. So, yeah, what skills? Beats me.
AI uses a ton of electricity. Shit ton. And by the way, just a little aside, when people talk about AI taking jobs, because it uses so much electricity, and plumbers, electricians, power engineers, all these people, the jobs are going to skyrocket.
Oh, and they're blue collar jobs too.
Those are all
because
blue
the facility to generate all of this electricity.
Power.
That's interesting.
And so they require so much power, and that's why solar farms and everything. I mean, there's programs now where if you have solar energy on your home and you have excess time of day, you could sell it to the local utility plant. And so there's going to be all these ways to generate power that we need. So
jobs are the.
You heard that. You heard that from Mark Cuban, who's in the AI space. So you were just talking about it. Mr. Nix. You're talking about the electricity. You're talking about all the work. You're talking about all the maintenance that it's going to need. You are absolutely right. It does need that. But here's another piece of it, right? We had who was just in here talking about the role of the blue collar work? That was MJ Cannabis? No, that was Zach Butler. He said blue collar work is rough. But guess what, man? Who cares if it's rough if you're able to make a living? You're able to live in a nice house. Those are going to be the jobs that's going to skyrocket. I mean, I have 2 kids. That may be the direction, as things start to make a shift, that they should go into. That may be the direction that I'm telling my next generation of clients to consider before they go to college. It's where the money's at. Yes, it's tough. Yes, your hands may be dirty. You may not be sitting behind the office and under the lights like I am right now in a nice little white shirt. You may get home and you may be exhausted. You may get home and you may be dirty. You may have grease on your face. But that's not anything that is not that you can't do. It provides you a nice living, provides you a nice house, provides you a salary that allows for you to take care of your wife and your kids, send your kids to school. I mean, I think about some of the guys who are in the trades right now, especially down here in Texas. They make a lot of money. They make a lot of money. And especially right now, there's a big demand for it. Whew, that may be the direction that you need to be going. That may be the direction that you need to go.
Very first ones AI is going to take.
For a while, I thought it was software engineering. In the way it is today, I think is not going to be a thing because you already have things like Lovable and these other companies where you can generate a website or app just in like a few seconds. I think the important thing will be nuance and taste. You have to have that kind of knowledge to make it beyond just the AI slop of build a website that can tell people their finances.
Right.
Consulting, 100%. All of those big consulting firms, I don't know how they are thinking.
Yeah, they apply.
So if you think about what he's saying right here is, he's basically saying that with AI and with this sophisticated technology, what's going to be important are going to be the things that are going to be nuanced, right? So you can go and get a nice little website built, and you can probably do that within a matter of 5 minutes. That's with tools like Comparable and so forth. Right? Typically, it takes for somebody to go out there and build a nice website. It would probably take months or weeks or whatever it is, right? You go and get somebody to do a web design, to create it, talk to you multiple times, and all that sort of stuff. Now that stuff can be completed in a matter of minutes, right? But for them to really understand you and your business, you have to talk to somebody. That's going to be the job that people really need to understand. Understanding the business fundamentals behind it. And you only get that by having experience. So for all you guys right now who are concerned and I don't know if AI is going to take my job and so forth, you have experience. So leverage your experience and leverage AI to get to the bag. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be a participator of the AI world. Leverage it. Leverage it to put plans together in order for you to start that business. Leverage it to create things that you never once thought you could create to get it done. That's what you can leverage it for. It's seriously one of those things where it's at your fingertips now. So when people say I can't get to it, I can't get to the bag, I don't know if that's no longer an excuse, guys. And this is for everyone. Everybody has access to ChatGPT. You got an email address, you got a phone, you got access to Google Gemini, you have access to it. The Life of Cam says I use AI to build my department's web pages without prior knowledge or without prior Java and HTML knowledge, coding experience. Easy, and you can get it done. Jack Butler says, here's the thing. How long until AI is capable of doing blue collar work as well? What happens then? If it can take one job, it can take them all. That's an interesting question, Zach. I don't know if it's going to be able to do that. Robots would be able to do it. I would agree with that. But I don't know how much it's going to be able to do blue collar work. That's not the target at this point in time. How long would it take? Anything is possible. It can be another 20 years. I don't know. But I will tell you like this, white collar work is going to be what's being eliminated. All right, let me continue on.
Smart weapons can be synchronized on Anduril's AI platform. It's called Lattice. Lattice collects data from various sensors and sources, including satellites, drones, radar, and cameras, allowing, he says, the AI to analyze, move assets, and execute missions faster than a human.
If you were having to require the human operator to actually map every single action and say, hey, do this, if that, then this, it would take so long to manage it that you would be better off just remotely piloting. It's the AI on board all these weapons that makes it possible to make it.
It's focused on
AI is going to take your job.
Let me just remind you, when 80% of the world were working on farms and the tractor was invented, all the media back then was saying, these tractors are gonna take your job and this is the worst thing that happened. We demonized the invention of the tractor because what we're very good at is demonizing new technology without understanding the capacity of humans. Just to give you the preview of what happened with the tractor was invented, it made us way more efficient, and it allowed millions and millions and millions of people to stop working on farms and do other shit that was bigger. Nobody cried for the people that sold the Yellow Pages. There was 40,000 people selling the Yellow Pages when Google and Yahoo came out and put them out of business. You didn't cry when the iPhone came and put a ton of businesses out. You liked that you had the iPhone. AI is about to come along. Will it affect some people? Of course.
Change we're going to see over the next 5 years, 10 years, will dwarf everything that's happened over the last 30. We went from automating pen and paper, right, with spreadsheets, to connecting PCs into local area networks to, connecting people
to each
locally,
other.
Locally, right, to connecting networks to get the internet, to getting the network effect of communicating people globally. But now we're introducing artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, neural networks, etc. So, and what that enables is the automation of automation, right? And so the people who were writing software, particularly at the lower end, unless you're doing these advanced things, they're gone, right? The people that
because the software's writing itself,
it's doing itself, right? It's just math. Programmer back in the day, so when I was writing code, it was the algorithms were if this then that,
right?
X or whatever it may be, right? But you had to guess, right? You had to use your best instance, and then it got smarter and smarter and smarter, and libraries to do bigger and better things. All that is being automated. And so now you have to know how to use that stuff. So either software works for you or you work for software, and once the software takes over, you're gone, right? So unless you understand that, you don't understand that the nature of work is changing, the nature of employment is going to change.
And my son just finished his freshman year of college, and I'm questioning what the future is for him in higher education, given all the change that AI is going to have on every career and every profession. And I'm wondering what advice you'd give to your child or someone who's in college right now for what's an area of study that won't be disrupted by AI or an area that AI you'll get leverage from your education through AI.
I think the reality is that most of the existing jobs that we have in the United States are going to go to lower cost locations that have that tool chain to accelerate their capability. So we're going to have to reinvent the workforce and the things that we do over the next 30 or 40 years to stay relevant. That's probably like, I think that should just be the operating principle. If you think about it, we used to run great call centers. Okay, those call centers were outsourced to the Philippines and India. But in the next, 5 or 10 years, you'll have this flawless, unaccented English, or even more eerily, perfectly accented English for the zip code of the person that's calling in so that it sounds like they're talking to somebody that's literally their neighbor. That's like just makes so much sense, right? So it's like all this stuff is going to happen where like all these classes of jobs are going to go away. I saw this article where two lawyers used ChatGPT to submit a legal brief. The problem was that it cited cases that didn't exist, and now they're going to be disbarred. So this is like serious business, right? Like you can't do that. Like that's like real legal malfeasance.
So what are your ideas? Probably AI could do.
You heard it. You heard it. Let's listen to Elon.
10 years, probably AI could do anything better than a human can, cognitively. Probably almost, I think in 10 years, based on the current rate of improvement, AI will be smarter than the smartest human. Yeah. There will also be a massive number of robots.
By the way, I got to ask, how come your robots look so much like the creepy robots for my robot? Was that intentional or just...
I was hoping he was going to say, yeah, just to mess with you.
It's not meant to look like any prior robot. We'll iterate the design. A lot of the robot parts are cosmetic. You'll be able to switch out the kind of snap-on cosmetic parts of the robot, make it look like something else if you'd like. Mm-hmm. So there will be ultimately billions of humanoid robots. All cars will be self-driving.
In 10 years?
In 10 years, probably 90% of miles driven will be autonomous.
Huh.
Wow.
Think about that. Tesla just launched in Austin their autonomous vehicles the other day, and they are doing a flat rate of $4.20 for a ride. And guess what that's going to do for the city of Austin and any other city? It's going to basically eliminate people from needing cars. That's what it's going to do. Now, how long are they going to be able to do that? Well, it's going to be a short amount of time until they jack their prices up. But once they know the city of Austin, you're not going to need a car anymore in the city of Austin, because you're going to have a whole bunch of Teslas that's out there, self-driving, autonomous, and you're not going to need a license anymore eventually. I always said that at one point in time that my kids, like I said, 10 and 8 years old, they may not need driver's license anymore. With the autonomous vehicles, they may not need licenses anymore. That's another 10 years from now. If 90% of all miles driven on the road, especially in the United States, is going to be by autonomous vehicles, why would you spend the money on the driver's license? Why would you do that? Why would you need a driver's license? There may not be a need for it. I want to know what you guys think in the comments of this video. I want to know what you guys think in the chat as well, too. Do you guys think there's going to be a need for driver's license? And by the way, I'm doing this live stream right now, and I make videos as well, too. The other day, I made a video on 7 jobs that you can do at night or something like that, or it's one of the videos that I just made. And people are starting to be so AI focused, to where when I make a lot of my videos, I'm pretty serious. I'm using a different tone, and you don't see me blinking very much, to where people are questioning if I am AI. In the comment section, I had a couple of people saying, "Oh, this is an AI video. You can tell by his voice. You can tell by the way he doesn't blink." I'm like, what? Me being AI? I guess the video was that good because it got a lot of views on it. But I am not AI, guys. Just for just for your understanding, I am not AI. And here's the other piece of it, though. You do have companies that are choosing to broadcast in media and create media, and you have YouTube channels that are doing the exact same thing with AI. They are doing it. You heard from the previous video that we got a chance to review that they're using AI to publish the news, and it's with an AI bot. So it is out there, but me, myself, Antoine Wade, Elevate to the Unknown, This is not AI. You see me blinking, you see me waving. This is not AI. But let me know what you guys think in the comments of this video. Also, let me know what you guys think in the chat. We're going to move on to the next one right now, where we're going to be talking about layoffs. Because when AI comes to hit, what's going to happen? It's going to eliminate the jobs that you have. And just like AI is doing it, layoffs are here. Let's listen to this one.
Hi, I got laid off from my job today.
Procter & Gamble is cutting 7,000 jobs globally.
I was one of approximately 150 people in my organization that got let go.
And here are a list of companies, major companies, that have announced for June that they intend on doing layoffs.
So Scotiabank and RBC just mandated that all their workers come back to office 4 days a week starting in September. And that might not sound like too big of a deal, but it signifies some troubling times ahead for the Canadian economy.
I officially got my last paycheck today. Let that sink in. I was a government contractor.
Hi.
You guys heard it. Just like AI, these layoffs aren't about poor performance anymore. They are strategic. And no one's, at this point in time, no one's safe. The latest examples. Let's go to the latest examples, guys. I want you guys to leverage AI and understand how you can leverage AI to figure out what's going on in the job market. And I'm going to show you guys the latest example of what's going on right now with AI. I'm going to jump over to Perplexity, one of the tools that I use, and I'm just going to type a prompt, or I don't even need that type of prompt because I already got it up there already. Guys, these are the companies that have laid people off in the month of June, okay? Let me get to it real quick. In the month of June 2025, these are the companies that have announced layoffs. Intel, Microsoft, Meta, Google, Amazon, Blue Origin, IBM, HP, Block, CrowdStrike. Non-tech companies, Panasonic, Procter & Gamble, Walmart, Coca-Cola, JP Morgan, US Cellular. If you look at the sectors, you see tech. What's the reason? AI, restructuring, AI, automation, performance, AI automation, cost savings, AI replacing HR roles, AI-enabled PCs, restructuring. In the finance market, retail, operations, e-commerce, cost cutting. AI, layoffs. This is what's happening today, guys. AI, layoffs, efficiency. What's the word of this year? Efficiency. Let's jump back over to this video.
I got laid
Tide, Charmin, and Pampers. They also make for
6 months or a year. So, myself that I'm posting this from my job today.
Let that sink in. I was a government contractor.
Hi. I got laid off from my job today. And I'm posting this as a reminder for myself later that this will be the best thing that's ever happened to me. And I want to remind myself that I'm really good at what I do. I'm smart and I'm funny and I'm hardworking and I'm really driven. And I'm gonna be just fine. I'm gonna be just fine. So, I don't expect anyone to watch this, but I'm posting it for myself so that when I come back 6 months or a year, whenever, I can look at this and be like, you told me it's gonna be the best thing that ever happened. So,
Procter & Gamble is a massive company, maker of Gillette, Tide, Charmin, and Pampers. They also make Febreze, Olay, Pantene, Mr. Clean, Duracell, and Crest toothpaste, amongst many other iconic brands. But they are saying that they are having to do these layoffs thanks to the higher cost imposed by customs duties, also known as tariffs. Procter & Gamble is also cutting costs because consumers are pulling back. As you may have heard from the story I did on Dollar General, people are spending less on essentials. And it's not just at the dollar store, it's amongst Procter & Gamble's family of brands too. So once again, wherever you look in US retail, the consumer is under pressure. And you know what that is an indicator of: recession. There's simply nothing else that you can call all of these companies laying people off and all these consumers pulling back on their spending. And as much as I hate to be the bearer of bad news, more announcements like this will be on the way. It's simply inevitable with the trade policy that we have right now.
Guys,
you heard him say it. You heard him say it. More companies are doing it. And I've been telling you guys about this for a while. Procter & Gamble, restructuring. This company has been around for a very long time. A very, very long time. They typically don't lay people off. But if they're laying off 7,000 people, that means there is a massive shift that's happening within the job market. And I want to know your opinion because I'm getting a lot more coaching calls about layoffs. I'm getting a lot more coaching calls about me wanting to change jobs and me want to get to the bag and me want to make a career shift. And I'm seeing a lot of Reddits and I'm seeing a lot of TikTok videos. But what are you guys hearing in your jobs? What are you hearing in your communities? What are you hearing in your neighborhoods? Are you seeing friends being let go? Are you seeing a lot more LinkedIn's where people are saying, hey, you know what? I've been affected by the recent layoffs. What are you guys seeing yourselves? Leave it in the comment. Leave it in the chat of this video. I want to know what you guys are seeing yourselves. I'm seeing a lot of it. And the job market data is interesting, right? Because again, unemployment seems to be low. Even to the point where the market seems to be doing pretty darn good to where the feds aren't even lowering interest rates. But something doesn't seem right. Something doesn't seem right about the data. Let me know what you guys think. I want to know what you guys think. Let's listen to this young man.
it is brutal out there. Do not quit your day jobs in June. I don't care what's going on, how rough it is, how stressful that job is for you. Unless you have something lined up, do not bounce. Right here, I'm going to post them on the screen. Here are a list of companies, major companies that have announced for June that they intend on doing layoffs. It is not going to get any better anytime soon. I understand you may hate your job, but unless it is a mentally damaging position where it is so toxic that you are just going to harm yourself or it's going to degrade your quality of life, stay in your job. The phrase "do not quit your day job" has taken on a completely new meaning in this job market.
Well,
I'll tell you like this. So is it time to make a shift into your jobs? I would agree with this man. If you don't need to make a shift, stay put. It is taking people up to about 6 months to land a new job. And if you were going to a new job, you don't even know how long they're going to be last. You don't even know how long your job is going to last. That's what's happening right now into the job market. I know somebody who recently made a shift and they got laid off. And they didn't have to make that shift. They didn't have to make that shift at all. They were going after the bag. And they were there for 3 months in a good role and got let go. That's what's happening in the market right now. So I agree with this man. If you don't have to make that career shift, stay tight, stay put. There's going to be a time where the market is going to change again, where companies are going to be doing a significant amount more hiring than they are right now. And data is going to look a lot better, and they're going to make the decisions based on needing the talent. And there's going to be a talent gap, and they're going to need you. And they're going to pay you a crap load of money. And you're going to go get that bag if you want to. But right now, if you don't need to make a career shift and a career change, don't do it. It's tough. 6 months is a long time. Don't quit your job either without having something already lined up. And I would even tell you like this: use AI in your current job to improve your productivity, to find out ways that you can help out more, find out ways that you can learn, and try to get to the bag. That's what you should be doing.
Sitting here on my porch trying to get some fresh air. I found out yesterday that I was one of approximately 150 people in my organization that got let go, laid off, restructuring. That's what we were told. Whatever that means. The last 24 hours have been actually 24 plus hours, I guess. It's now 28 hours. Have been pretty tough. A lot of emotions It's really the first time I think I've ever been laid off in my, God knows how long I've been working. It seems like forever, 30 years maybe. I don't know, long time, 30 plus years. I think this is my first actual layoff. So, not performance based. You know, I'm eligible for rehire, so I guess that's a positive. But so now I'm out in the market at 53 years old. Don't know what's going to happen. Apparently, I do have some severance. I'm still waiting to find out the details on that. So at least I know I'm going to be carried for a little bit before I have to start dipping into any reserves or any other additional funds, trying to avoid all that.
So Scotia.
So this man been in the job market for, been a professional, working professional for over 30 years. Laid off. It's hurting. And these are the type of situations that is happening quite often. I'm seeing a lot more of these videos come up. And what are going to do? They're going to replace you with somebody younger, somebody less, somebody less experienced, but also a lot cheaper. A lot cheaper. So many of you at this point in time, you're afraid of using tools like AI. Use it to make the transition. Use it because you already see what potentially is going to be coming. The last thing you want to do is be stuck learning a new skill when you don't have a job. If you already have a job, use it to figure out your next path because you see it coming. That's what you can use AI for. You got to use it. Otherwise, you're seriously going to be left behind. I mean, this guy right here, I don't know what he does, but he seems like he's a solid man. And it's unfortunate for him. And who knows how long it's going to take him to find his next role. That's going to be the piece that sucks, right? Not knowing where that's going to come from. He's probably been with the company for a long time. Now, it's also good to have contacts. Plain Talk Cyber Career says, don't quit your job. Make sure you are friendly and easy to work with. Be of value. If you are old and high paid and not producing anything but complaints, you are on the chopping block. That is absolutely true. He is not lying. If you are old, dusty, crusty, and all you do is complain, and you're not bringing anything of significant value, and you think that people should be handing stuff to you, you are on the chopping block. That's just the reality of it. That doesn't seem like this man, but there are a lot of people that's like that. There are a lot of people that I work with that are like that. And they think things should be coming easy to them, even if they're in sales as well, too. They think things should be coming easy to them. Good point. Plain Talk Cyber and Career. Professor Black Ops in the house. Good to see you, my man. Say they are counting gig work as full-time work. That will certainly make the numbers look out of whack. And that's the piece of it where a lot of people are then struggling, because in the gig economy, you aren't making a lot of money if you're just starting. It's hard. In the gig economy, when you're just starting, that's side hustle money. That's $500 a month. That's $1,000 a month. That's not $10,000 a month. That's not $20,000 a month that you need to take care of your family. That's not what it is. So if they're counting those numbers, Professor Blackhouse, like you said, then those numbers are massively wrong. They are screwed up. Seriously. Guys, Teresa, I appreciate that, Teresa. This is what Garner needs to do. Book a professional coaching session, www.bokheights.com. We can make sure that he finds that job that he needs within a matter of 6 months. Let us continue.
So Scotiabank and RBC just mandated that all their workers come back to office 4 days a week starting in September. Now, that might not sound like too big of a deal, but it signifies some troubling times ahead for the Canadian economy. And what we've seen in the past in other sectors, particularly in the technology industry, is that return to work mandates have been used as almost a form of quiet layoffs so that the worker can voluntarily leave their job without receiving a severance. And what usually ensues after some of these policies is that we start to witness mass layoffs. Now, if we zoom out and we look at the big picture here, we have return to work mandates, high unemployment rates, a threat of looming tariffs from the United States administration, as well as a lack of productivity and decreased GDP growth. Combine all of that together, and we have some troubling times ahead for the Canadian economy. If you are gainfully employed, now might not be the best time to leave your job. Also, if you have a big purchase that you're thinking of making, now might not be the best time to do that. And coincidentally, if you are sitting on a large amount of cash and you do have an appetite for a certain level of risk, now could be a good time to see some opportunities.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. And Dog just said it. He says, hey, at least he gets to enjoy his summer. My contract was cut last September, and I enjoyed life all the way through to 2025. You can do that if your finances is right. But your finances aren't right if you don't have a family. If you have a family where your expenses are pretty high, you are in bad shape. You are in bad shape because now you got to find something. And Dog also says he doesn't sound like he has adequate amount of reserves. You just don't know what that looks like for people. You'll be surprised, guys. I was talking to a good buddy who works for a major technology corporation. And the conversations that he's having with people about financial decisions, things like investing in the 401k, Roth RAs, Roth RAs, things outside of the 401ks and the Roth IRAs, saving. A lot of people just don't do it. They've gotten so comfortable to where that money is coming in and they just don't do it. So if he's not doing it, it sucks. It sucks. That's why I'm telling you guys, make sure you got something on the side. Even if it's bringing you an additional $500 a month, it is something. That's one additional bill that you can pay off if something was to go the wrong direction. Or that's $500 a month that you can save in your nest egg if something was to go wrong. $500 a month is a good amount of money. That's a good amount of money. That's $6,000 a year. You do that over a couple years, you're in a pretty good spot. You bought yourself some additional time. And if nothing was to happen, you bought yourself in an opportunity for you to invest. Okay? Let's listen to this next one.
It's June 10th, and I just got laid off. Crazy. But at the same time, okay. What did I do? It's still hitting me, I think. What do I do?
Hi. I got laid off from my job today. And I'm posting this as a reminder for myself later that this will be the best thing that's ever happened to me. And I want to remind myself that I'm really good at what I do. I'm smart and I'm funny and I'm hardworking and I'm really driven. And I'm gonna be just fine. I'm gonna be just fine. So, I don't expect anyone to watch this, but I'm posting it for myself so that when I come back 6 months or a year, whenever, I can look at this and be like, you told me it's gonna be the best thing that ever happened.
Okay, I'm gonna get through this without crying. I just got promoted to Associate Director of People, and on Friday, I was laid off. This is a month after I was just promoted. I know TikTok is really good at helping people find their next landing. We were in the process of a new home, no longer able to do that. I've got over 9 years of experience in human resources, in people operations. If anyone sees this and knows of anyone that is looking for someone to come on board, their team, I'm happy to send my information. This market is just, it's...
Anybody else getting just absolutely dog piled on with the job projections this week? Like, yes, love that the companies are active. I'm like, let me hit those job applications. But god damn, I wake up and I'm like, can you guys let me get the crud out of my eye? A slew, mama. Hey, mama, a slew behind you. A slew of rejections behind you, girl. Like, hello? And to add insult to injury, I just look bald today.
I officially got my last paycheck today. Let that sink in. I was a government contractor, and I officially got after 8 years at my job. I was not fired. We were all laid off. There were 350 government contractors laid off, and we all got our last paychecks right now, today. 350 people from one company. Let that sink in.
That's a lot of people, guys. That is a lot of freaking people. And it's happening in waves. The Life of Cam says, I don't feel bad for HR. More than half of them are lazy and lack professionalism. Well, you know what? They were just talking about AI just now. The whole slew of job rejections. A whole slew of job rejections. You know what? I feel bad for anyone who's been laid off. I feel bad for anyone who's in a terrible position. The scary part of all of this, I'm going to switch to a new scene, guys. The scary part of all of this is that it's happening in waves. And it's happening all at once. Layoffs are wiping out roles. AI is replacing the ones that's left. And the people with experience or degrees, they're still getting cut. We were all told you go to school, you get those degrees. Does that still work anymore? I don't think so. The people who has experience, go and get yourself experience in certain areas. They're still getting cut as well too. That's what's happening. In recent grads, those individuals are getting cut too. I mean, entry-level roles in data, HR, support. AI is taking those jobs as well. And I will tell you like this, these companies that are making these decisions, they aren't looking back. They aren't looking back at all. So this is the part that nobody's talking about. There's still time. But you need to move now. I'm talking about like now. And here's what I want you to start doing today if you're in a situation. Number one, I want you to document your wins. You have to show your value. You got to do it for every single project. You got to do it for every single dollar that you save. You got to do it for every single result that you get. Document your wins. I also want you to master a skill that AI can't replace. That could be something around sales. I would love for you guys to get into sales. If you want to get into sales, check out Course Careers as your entry. They are a partner of ours. Check out Level Careers as an entry to get break into tech sales. Another skill that AI can't replace is strategy, human connection, storytelling, leadership. These are all the areas that AI can't replace. So master a skill in strategy, human connection, sales, storytelling, leadership. Another thing that I want you guys to do is this, to learn AI. You have to learn it. You guys saw I was using Perplexity a second ago. I was using Perplexity to give me the results of all the companies that laid people off in the month of June. You got to be able to use it. You got to be able to use it to leverage your data. You got to be able to use it to become more efficient in your job with PowerPoints and all that sort of stuff, things that you need to do in your business and your job on a day-to-day basis. If you're not using AI to improve the efficiency, if you're not using AI to help your boss to knock things out a lot faster, then you're being left behind. Learn AI. Don't fear it. Learn how it works. Learn how it works in your industry. Use it every single day. Update your resume in LinkedIn. Make sure that it's updated just about every single week, not yearly, every single week. If you need help with a new resume revamp or a LinkedIn revamp, go ahead and book a session with us. www.blokheights.com. Click on our consulting services page, and we will do that for you for a small cost. Get your resume updated, get your LinkedIn updated. Those are the services that we offer. If you need to book a call with me, book a call with me. www.blokheights. www.blokheights.com. Another thing that I want you to do is to work on building your relationships, guys. You have to do that. Who knows you will matter more than what you know. I mean, that's just the reality of it. You have to, people got to know who you are. Whether you are on LinkedIn, whether you have a YouTube channel. You saw the young lady who just got laid off a second ago. She was putting her information out there on TikTok because TikTok has helped people to find jobs. You have to be visible. You got to build those relationships. And people knowing you will help out. So make sure you're building those relationships. I mean, this is not one of those videos that's about fear mongering. It's the truth. You're seeing people's lies unfold right in front of you. You're seeing more jobs being automated. You're seeing more layoffs coming. I mean, I can talk about this every single day if I wanted to. But I'll tell you like this, the ones who prepare now, they'll eat while others are starving. Those are the plumbers. Those are the guys who are in sales. Those are the guys who are in customer success, close to the customer. They're going to be eating while many people who just sit back and say, it ain't going to happen to me, they're going to be starving. You can't sit around waiting for this, man. You either complain or you either compete. I'll tell you which side I'm already on. Matter of fact, I don't need to say it. I don't even need to say it. You already know which side I'm on. I'm competing. That's why I show up every single Monday and drop videos every Tuesday and Thursday. I'm competing. But here's the thing for you. Be undeniable. Be valuable. Stay ready. And you can only do that by following the steps that I just gave you guys. If you want guidance on making this transition into any sort of role, go ahead and make sure that you tap into the career coaching at our website, www.blokheights.com. You can also check out our Patreon as well, www.patreon.com, blokheights. I mean, at the end of the day, I drop exclusive content on our channel, but also in our Patreon as well, too. So if you guys are thinking about getting serious, go ahead and check out our resources that we have on our website. That'll get you to the next level. But guys, let me go to the chats real quick. Jay Price says, I heard tech sales is super stressful. Any job where you're going to be making a lot of money, Jay Price, is stressful. You can be a plumber and making a whole bunch of money. It's stressful. What would you do? I would rather be stressed and making a whole bunch of money than not making any money at all, being stressed. Right? And the reality of it is any job where you're going to be making a good amount of money, you're going to be stressed. You can look at any CEOs who's making millions of dollars a year. Are they stressed? Yes. It's how you manage that stress. So when people ask me and say things like, is it stressful? That means that you don't want to compete. That's basically what it means to me. And I know, Jay Price, that you want to compete. So don't think about it as stress. Think about how much money you can be making and the skill that you're going to be building that can last you for the rest of your life. That's how I look at it. Ant Dog it says, don't forget the guys that's building the AI models and creating companies from vast ecosystems of AI. That's right. There are people who are leveraging these tools every single day, and they're going to become millionaires and billionaires. You think about companies like Perplexity. I was just using their website, showing you guys the layoff data. All they are really is a chat bot in some instances, being able to scour information on the internet to give it to you in a nice formatted way with references and so forth. They are currently potentially going to get bought for $14 billion. That's just one tool. $14 billion. That tool hasn't been out for that long, in maybe 2-3 years, if that. Google's looking at buying them. Facebook's looking at buying for $14 billion. That's how the AI race is going to compete. And that's how it is going to continue to make people wealthy and create new jobs. We didn't talk about the new jobs that are going to be created. I mean, we talked about it, some aspects of it, right? With the plumbing and electricians and more stuff like that. But there's other jobs that are going to be created because of this. You had Gary Vaynerchuk talking about it, right? When the tractor came along, everybody was talking about, oh man, the robots and the tractors are going to be taking a whole bunch of people work. Nobody complained once you got a tractor in the hand. Everybody talked about the iPhone as well too. That's what Gary said. When the iPhone came along, it put a whole bunch of people out of work as well. When the internet, Yellow Pages, it's going to shift. It's going to create new jobs, but it's going to create jobs where you're going to need to be able to leverage these tools. And if you're not leveraging these tools, you're going to be left behind. You're going to be left behind. Life of Cam says, if you can make in excess of 6 figures, you can retire early in 10 years or less if you invest wisely. That is so freaking true. That is so true. Ant Dog says, I've been teaching myself to build AI agents of all sorts since I know Python. I'm about to get some paper building specialized agents. That's right. And here's the piece of it, Ant Dog. Like, you don't need to know Python anymore. Like, that's the whole point. You don't need to know Python anymore. You can literally, like, let me jump over to the chat real quick. Let me jump over to my screen share. Like, I can jump over here and I don't know. Let's use what's one of the apps that's used really good? Claude. Let's use Claude AI. Okay. Let me sign into my Claude. Boom. Oh, let me get to the website. Here we go. I got all the AI tools, right? Let's go here. Let me move this little tool out of the way real quick. Okay. I can just do something like help me build a program using Python to take data from Excel and enter that same data into PowerPoint. Something along those lines, right? And just hit enter and see what it does. Yeah, it literally will write code for you. I mean, that's basically what it does. I mean, this is not even a program that I would use, right? But like um when you have tools like this, you don't need to know the programming languages anymore. You don't need to. You just have to have a mind that can actually think like a programmer and be able to debug a lot of this stuff, right? Like, it's doing it. It's simply creating me a program right now using Python to do exactly what I said to do it'll create a transfer data from Excel to a PowerPoint. Here's a complete solution using OpenPXL. And first install the libraries, key features, tables, slides, all this other stuff, right? I'm like, you can use AI for just about every single thing. If you guys want to go out there and build a program, like you had a favorite app that you said you had an app idea and you wanted to have that created, you don't need to spend tens of thousands of dollars to do that. If you have the idea, you can get it done. I'm like, those are the kind of things that young individuals who have a good understanding of like engineering can create a side hustle doing of helping people to develop applications now in any sort of language that they choose or any sort of language that they know or don't know, because now they have access to the tools now and they don't need to know a specific type of language. It opens their minds up to just about everything. Anybody who wants to get into blockchain and all that other stuff, they can start developing on blockchain with the tools that are available to them. The speed of innovation is going to speed up. It's going to increase dramatically, 10 times, 20 times. It's going to be insane, guys. But this is what you can do with tools like AI. I mean, I just did a simple program just now, just giving it some nonsense that, I don't know, I just decided I wanted to type out, and here it is right in front of you. Absolutely insane. NC Worker says, I'm using Riplet for learning AI. You should be. Ant Dog says, Python is the leading language in regards to AI. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. But here's the thing. I don't even think you need to know the in-depth, the details of it. It's, it's one of those things where you don't need to know all the level of details behind Python anymore because it already has it out there. Keith Conte said, this is a good program that can code, will save a lot of time and money if you have any ideas you want to try to build on your own. That is absolutely true. That is true. But guys, this is what I had for you in today's episode. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for rocking me today. I have a new system, so I'm learning it. I don't know how to get this into Restream, but thank you guys for sticking around and having the conversation that we just had about AI and layoffs and what's happening in the market today. If you guys have any questions, you can leave a comment in the comment section of this video. Also, we will see you guys on the next one. Until next time, guys. Peace.